Look back. This week we were talking about 2 books in an unfinished series. I don't know why Jake keeps getting me into these unfinished series, but it's called The Mountain Man Matchmaker by Amy Daws. And this week's cocktail is called the flannel, because if you know, you know. So make 2 at a time. You're going to add warmed apple butter to a glass. We're going to actually build this cocktail in the glass. Okay. Then you're going to add 2 ounces of your choice of bourbon. And because this is just a little bit before fall, we are actually going to use sparkling cider. You can use apple cider, but this was all we could find in the grocery store. So, add a little pizzazz. Also 2 ounces of this are just, your best guess. I'm actually going to take my straw and stir it just a little bit before I add the ice. You can also add just a little bit of lemon juice for just that little extra citrusy flavor. Grab your ice. Add your ice. Don't mind me, I'm busy.
Tis what she proclaimed.
Tis what she proclaimed. You're going to top it with some ginger beer. Then, just for a little extra, because you know that apple cider wasn't enough, some fruit. Give it one more good little swirly around. Add some cinnamon sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers, flush about, y'all.
Speaking of there.
The apple butter is really...
It's the apple butter. That's what's up. Oh, I want a fire pit and just...
I think, honestly, the sparkling cider is like...
That actually might be the secret.
It might be the secret.
Well, we've changed it now. That's what we're going with. So,
sparkling cider. You're welcome.
welcome.
I'm Haley.
And I'm Jen.
And this is Quick Off the Mark.
We hope you guys didn't forget us. We know it's been a long time. Trust us. It's also been a long time for us. So we're going to struggle through remembering these books together.
A lot has happened in the last couple of weeks.
Yes, we've had a lot of stuff going on, so it's totally fun. This week's side quest, or adventure on its own, I guess. I don't want to call it a side quest because we read it together, and there's other books in the series, so if you want to continue this adventure. We only read the first 2 because at the time that we read these books, it was only the 2 out. So, but now actually the 3rd book is out. We highly recommend that you give this series a try. It is the Mountain Man Matchmaker series by Amy Daws. So the 2 books that we read were The 9-Month Contract and The 7-Year Itch. Let's jump in. What were your thoughts? We'll do individual, and then we can do so far what we think the series is going to give us as far as rating goes.
Okay. Let's go 9-month contract first. I think I probably gave it a 3.5. It was a good book, but the pregnancy trope is just not my favorite. It's well written. The characters are funny. Like, I love Wyatt. But pregnancy trope is just never going to be it for me.
I agree tenfold with you. Pregnancy trope is never for me. Even if, like, we get all the way to the end of a book and it's just in them and it's in gray, and then, like, in the epilogue, they're like, and she touched her blossoming belly off. Now it's ruined. You know, if
Yeah.
the pregnancy is part of the trope or the storyline, which obviously this one is, I don't mind it as much, which was why I think I
Right.
gave this book a 3.5 as well. Um, and I really liked it. Definitely got me into the series. The characters were extremely well written, and I was really interested to know, like, why does Wyatt want this? Like, really, like, you know, it's just not your everyday story of a man who lives on a mountain with his two brothers, you know, and he just wants a baby. So it's
Yeah.
that was kind of driving for me. But I think personally, he fell flat in character, in personality for me. But I was really intrigued by the younger brother, by Calder. Um, and because he threw in a lot of the humor in those situations for me, so that made up for it. And I knew that he was coming down the pike. Trista was such a well-rounded, almost fully developed character, so
Yeah.
it didn't leave much room for her growth as a person. So the only growth left, I guess, was to make her decide that she actually wanted children. Hated that. But that was the only like logical way that could go, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think it was really hard for either of them to kind of learn their lesson, whatever lesson was to be had, because they were fully formed characters. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
very much so. I wouldn't say they learned anything. I think that they just both decided to um, do it together. You know,
Yeah.
at the end of this book. So 3.5. For the 7-year itch, I do believe I gave that a 4.5 stars. 4 on Goodreads. Goodreads, if you hear us, give us half stars, please, please. But
Yeah.
4.5 is what I would have given it because Calder was so funny, so great. Dakota was there.
There's a lot of personal growth in this book from
Yes, a
both
lot of
sides.
yes, and I loved her for that. I do think she was a little overbearing at times, but you know,
Yes.
those who can't do teach. So, and there was just a lot of
Those who
funny
can't do
IG
make a
comedy in
podcast.
this one, and I think the sex was better in this one, quite frankly, probably because she wasn't pregnant.
Yeah.
So there you go. Nothing wrong with pregnant sex. Pregnant sex is beautiful, but going back to the first book because we can go. Our female main character is a plus size girl, and she talks about how she loves it. Like, even from the beginning scenes with her where she bumps into Everly outside of the cert, she's like, can you believe they won't let you do it if you aren't, you know, on the BMI scale? Which y'all know about the BMI scale. As two people
I'm
who
overweight on the BMI scale.
literally did this. We
I'm
studied it.
overweight.
Yes, and they told me back in '06, they were like, "Hey, this is bullshit, but we still got to teach it." I was like, "Heard." So yes, girl, get it, Trista. The BMI scale, yes, and how you can't be a surrogate if you are over a certain age, if you are over a certain weight, if you have not had children before. There's all these extenuating circumstances. By the way, it's important to notice that she's doing this for money, not for child. She doesn't want the child. She wants to
No
fit
child
into
for
the
her. She
married
just
way.
wants the money.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love how this is the whole point of this whole series, right? Everly and how she's manipulating all of her uncles to do what she wants, basically, which is just really funny. That's like my favorite thing in this whole book is that just Everly is just like manipulating the pieces. Because I think if I were in her shoes, I would absolutely do the same thing. Like, I just was like, yeah, my cousins were already
Honestly,
married,
why
and I
not?
like
Yeah.
learned how to date. So like, you know, whatever.
Which we learned that actually her dad Max was in another series of Amy Dawes, and it was he's a little bit older than them. He had her when he was, you know, right out of high school, I believe. And so basically she and the 3 brothers that live on the mountain, Wyatt, Calder, and Luke, they all kind of grew up, you know, not relatively the same age, but they were much more like cousins and brothers than uncles, for sure. And so they hold each other very close. And
yeah, It's a cute family dynamic.
Basically, she can walk all over them, and they like it that way. So we love it.
Yeah.
You know. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing about Wyatt in this book is you want to leave me breakfast on my doorstep even though I'm mad at you? That sounds great. That's like the equivalent of Jared making me coffee in the mornings even though I've made him mad.
Yeah.
Which I really like. Love an acts of service. And the fact that she just kept bringing all of these animals to the farm. I have yet to bring an animal home to my farm, mostly because there's nowhere safe to house them, but time is it's coming soon. There will be farm animals out here. The boys are just gonna have to deal with it.
Right. Well, and it starts out with one in her purse that she brought with her when she moved in. And then it starts with another, and then it's a whole flock, and then it's, as the chapters go on, the list of animals on the mountain continue to grow. I mean, that's her thing. She wants to start a animal sanctuary. He just so happens to own a barn with a grouchy goat. So, cute.
My favorite thing about the book is at the beginning of the chapter when it was like weeks pregnant animals on the farm or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Spice level in this book, though, I will say it starts pretty early because they have to masturbate to get this shit going. They decided to do it at home, cut out the middleman. They tried, so they're doing it baster style. And I will say, like, the first scene where he is off to get the semen ready for her to then insert it, and he can't help but make the noises because he's imagining her, but he doesn't want to imagine her. And then on the flip side, when she goes to masturbate while she injects herself, God, that's so cool. This is why no one likes this. And she heard that if you masturbate while you do it, it says to help, and so she starts making the noises. He can hear her, and I'm like, oh, right here, we already know. We're very much so just kind of torture each other for the fun, which I am also here for. Don't get me wrong. I'm here for the torturing of each other as long as you can when you have that forced proximity, right? Like, eventually you're going to pout, so just make the tension good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so eventually he just says, hey, do you want me to make you feel good? But if I'm going to make you feel good, I'm going to be the only one that makes you feel good. Also, I have a breeding kink because I want to you, pull it out, then rub myself and stick it back in you.
Just the whole barn scene, I was just like, this, we've talked about this with Pen Pal, like when they were having sex in the forest, this is the same thing.
Yes. I kept thinking, hey, there's hay everywhere. There is literal dung surrounding you.
Yes.
And I know that, listen, you're in the moment, I get it. Passion, heard. But the smell alone, maybe if we had been and we were just like getting it in.
Yeah.
But your first consummation, when you at a woman for the first time and you're never going to do it again, and whatever.
Yeah. The only thing that I could picture, which I know it's not accurate, but I was picturing my high school ag barn. And I was like, this is not it. This is, no. I've never been in a barn that I'm just like, that's, I'm going to have here. Never. And I'm like from the country. Like if the one of us is going to have an experience to have in a barn, it's going to be me. And it was no.
Either that or the one time I go to a barn and I'm like, oh, I fell in
You're going to call me immediately and be like, Haley, I have something to tell you.
So what happened was there was a horse, there was a pig, and there was me.
I need to make some corrections to our podcast.
Yes. To the bio. So the one thing about, she wants to talk about how proud she is, even though she is a bigger girl, but she continually talks about herself out loud and in her head. She calls herself a cow. She talks about how, literally calls herself a cow multiple times. And I
think
really
the cow thing, the cow thing was more like,
I know she felt like the udders and all these things. I get it. But
I think it was so she didn't become attached and that she was just like out for breeding. Mm-hmm. It wasn't because she was fat, is how I read it. It's not because she was like fat. It was because she's like for breeding. Yeah, a cow is a really bad example. She could have come up with something better, but I digress.
Yeah. So
A mayor.
they decide that the whole time they're just not going to acknowledge their feelings about each other. I will give Dwight, I think he tries. And she just keeps pushing it off.
Yeah.
Until she attends his baby shower where he's getting all these gifts for the baby, and his family decides to single her out and take her and put her on this bench that Calder hand carved out of wood for their dad in his memory. And they all give her gifts, and she says, "No, if this is for the baby, I don't want it." And they say, "No, it's for you." And then she gets this awesome gift, starts crying, and runs down the hill. Not a month pregnant, by the way. Running down a hill.
Yeah.
Not dramatic at all. Not making a scene at what is not your baby shower, for what is not your baby, and confesses that I love you. I want the baby.
Yeah.
I like the story. Please don't get me wrong. I really like the story. It's just the trope for me. It's just not going to be it. I think that if there was any, they were even fighting over custody of the goat instead of,
Yeah.
It's for some people. It's not for me.
Yeah, I mean, again, at least we knew what we were getting into going in. Like, we knew that she was going to be one of the characters was going to be pregnant the whole time. Like,
it's in
the pregnancy trope,
title.
like, at the end of it, like, we're going to talk about this eventually, y'all, but, like, ACOTAR, that pregnancy trope drives me nuts.
Don't get me started on that right now. We don't have time. Nyx can jump off a ship, quite frankly. I don't care. Way to
That's
ruin
what's gonna
it.
happen in the new
Unless Nyx is like straight up evil once he starts talking, or he has to be a sacrifice so that the rest of Valeris can live. Make it biblical.
That's funny. The only thing that's gonna be worse than that is the Empyrean series. If Violet's pregnant, I will not be reading that book. I need some spoilers before that book comes out to see if I'm gonna waste my time or not.
You know that I probably won't even finish that series, so I have to finish the third book before I can start the fourth, because I just can't do it that way. And third time's the charm.
Yeah, I don't think so in this case. But anyways, it's a good read. It's an easy read.
Very good read.
Read it
very
pretty quickly.
Easy. I think it gets you going into the series for sure. And I will be finishing the series. Just want to go ahead and preface that as well. I'm very much, I love fluff. And you know what? It's a different story. It's not the same old. She falls for her boss or hometown. Sweetheart. It was something different, and I enjoyed that. And again, I like Amy Dawes' writing style a lot.
I do too.
Mm-hmm. It gives me that Tessa Bailey type, just very relatable. Mm-hmm. 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 So once those two, by the way, she comes out later on to finally accept his proposal of marriage, because I think he's proposed a couple hundred times now. She accepts it, and she's milking her and all the brothers see. And I was like, this is the epilogue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my favorite.
No, not my favorite either. It was a weird transition.
Yeah. So they're getting married, and they're getting married in Mexico. So it's a destination wedding, and guess who steps in again? Same one that put up an ad for good old Wyatt to get a surrogate. Everly.
Yeah.
She knows that there's sexual tension between the enemies, Calder and Dakota. I'll let you tell their background.
Because enemies to lover is truly my favorite trope.
She gets them set up in where they have to share a room, because nobody gets a +1, so they have to share a room over the weekend. And I like hate. I'm here for it. It was really hot. I really liked the way that he just seduced her at that dinner.
To her.
That what?
Crawled to her. Girl. I love to crawl. You want to crawl to me,
girl? Let me tell you something right now. I recently also read another book about crawling, and I was like, whatever. And then I heard it. Oh, baby. I think I have a new kink. All right, so Crawl. I'll do whatever you say. Crawl. Prove it. Come on. It'll be worth your while.
Yeah.
Hey, is fantastic. The way he seduced her at the dinner by like, she would stick her foot in her mouth and he would save her, but then he would kind of push her back. It was very, very, that push and pull between these two characters is top tier. But they have a long hatred for 7 years because miscommunication from the jump.
Oh, for sure.
They were doing
And
a renovation
her ex,
together, and she was engaged, and something leaked, and the wedding dress got ruined, and her fiance showed up to the wedding with a black eye. Started off the marriage real great. She's going through a divorce with this guy, Randall.
I think the divorce is actually final.
It is for sure.
Yeah.
And so after they have, she realizes, she's like, hey, he can teach me things. Teach me how to be a divorcee. Get me back out there.
Yeah, because they go to Mexico and then he runs into her at this club, or he runs into her at this club and then they go to Mexico. They go to Mexico and then he runs into her at the club.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
he's like, what are you doing here?
Gives her the gumption to go to the club to get her freak back on.
Yes.
And they run into each other, and he goes there for anonymity so that no one knows him from the small town because, we forgot about that. Because they have this rule they can't anybody in town, because at one point they were all three the same girl, and that's their family trauma. Robin. It's always Robin. So that is the trauma of all three brothers. They all her at the same time, fell in love with her, and she actually had a husband and kids somewhere else or something. So.
She was pregnant while she was fucking with somebody else's baby.
You said what?
She was pregnant with her husband's baby when she was the Fletcher boys.
Right.
Yeah.
So they couldn't have been for that long if she was already pregnant with her husband's child. 3 months. I mean, you go start showing 6 months. She moved there, met them, seduced all three, had time to spend with all three for them to fall in love with her.
Boys are dumb. They fall in love pretty easily, contrary to popular belief, I feel like.
That's actually some witchy talent. Someone should put that with the Etsy witches, so.
Yeah. You know what's wild is I kind of feel like this has happened on some level before, and that's really weird.
This has happened personally, or?
No, not personally. I just, it's had to have happened. Like, you're not just going to come up with this out of nowhere if you're Amy Daws. Like, that's a wild thing to come up with. You know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm saying? Like, she knows somebody that it happened to.
Do you want to know what was really giving? This is probably just because, again, this book has changed my entire brain chemistry. It was giving Maeve having the entire cadre obsessed with her.
Yeah.
And, like, under her control, and yeah. A Medusa of sorts, if you would. Which, whatever, girl, do your dance, get whatever, you know what I mean? Like, here, get the snakes. A man, you know?
Yeah.
So then he makes a PowerPoint to show her how to be a divorcee. Is that right?
Yeah, so she can, like, become comfortable.
And they have all these challenges.
And if you want to make me a sex PowerPoint, like, I just wish I would have been able to see. I love a list. Pro-con list?
A list.
Girl.
We're starting already with 1 and 2. Let's get them marked off. Come on.
Yeah.
Do we have to go in order? What's the deal here? Do I get a test or a highlight? Because, come on, your girl loves a reward system, okay? Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's make a list. And then let's keep adding to the list. Or let's not.
Yeah.
Let's have a hard cutoff.
Or let's not. I do also, the chapter names in this book were super funny. I know that I mentioned it about the other one. It wasn't so much the heading, as like it was just a little blurb. But the chapter titles in this book are really funny, I thought.
You have to
love an author that just my Nook is dead, but they were just funny. It was like, they're really funny.
Hold on,
you'll have to take my word for it.
Yes, I will. Yes, 100%. I do love when authors title chapters.
Instead of just chapter 1, chapter 2.
Because people don't really do that anymore. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know this is going to be super old school and age me a little bit, but I also like when there's a table of content in the first couple of pages. Like if you're gonna
that does age you, but I also like a table of content, so say less. Yeah.
It goes back to my checklist. I want to see how far I am in the book, like how much more I got to go without just looking at it. Like I need an actual number.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Did you? Yeah, I can. Okay. Did you find some?
Called Change of Plans. So I didn't get. It's just like cutesy. There's not. So in the first book,
it's just cutesy.
You know, animals on the mountain. Wheat's pregnant. This is just cute names. No, I agree with you 100%. I thought there was.
Yeah, it's just
again. It's been what 2 months since we've read these books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was physically reading them, so I think if you were listening to them, you probably wouldn't have picked up on it as much. But like I was physically reading them, and so it was like, and that's also what it said, like in my like heading on my Nook. But they were just funny. Like it had something to do with like whatever was happening in that chapter. It was like truly like episode titles.
No, I agree. I think that especially when you're reading it physically, because also, one, it tells you what's happening. What are we doing here? What's the chapter going to be about? Even though it doesn't really tell you. It's just a cute little like, boop, bazinga, if you will, and it differentiates. Oh, I know exactly which chapter I'm going to go to because it was titled this, or that seems about right. Instead of just flipping back and forth if you didn't mark a page. So, no, I agree with you. I do think that she obviously had a lot of issues that she needed to work through. She was really overbearing and highly reactive to like things that Calder did that really were good for her. Like when he paid for her dress and she got mad because it was a one of a kind. Girl, that was a sham marriage anyway. Everybody else knew it. You were the only one that didn't know it. Your friends knew it. You didn't even really like the guy. You were just so desperate to mark that off. He did you a favor. Also, turns out that punk was the one that actually flooded your house and ruined the dress to begin with. And then Calder was the one that gave him the black eye, But she gets mad about all of this. It was Fletcher's fault, Russell's fault, Randall's fault. It was Randall's fault. And Randall's you're going to get mad at him? Yeah.
I know. When they're arguing, and Calder asks Randall, he's like, well, have you ever been stabbed? I was like, that's kind of funny. And then he like gives him a black eye. But I really liked this book. And then the miscommunication happened because Homegirl's friend piped in and was like, oh no, he doesn't, because she's like, Dakota, sorry, let me slow down. Dakota is really trying to like justify her feelings, and she's like realizes she's falling for Calder, but she's like still has this image of him in her head, like the guy that ruined her house and like ruined her wedding and yada yada yada. And then her friend was like,
big bad playboy of which hasn't been proven, by the way. He's kind of a playboy with his own hand and his cat, so
that goes to a sex club, but so then her friend, who actually has never met Calder, is like, no, he's not in love with you. He's just playing you. And so then there's this big miscommunication, which I hate. And then the fact that it's all Randall's fault. And then she blames Calder. I was like, I'm so mad. If this doesn't get resolved in like less than a chapter.
A third act breakup is not going to be the end of the world for me. Sometimes I really like it if it's called for. You know what I mean? I like it when they don't do it, but I also like it when that's the climax, right? Where it's something where it could be a break-upable fence. This was not. This was absolutely not.
This was not.
100%
no, it was a miscommunication
and not listening. I get the part where she didn't really know him because he asked her all the questions and she gave him all the information. He had, high walls, trying to guard himself. Is that enough to No.
Yeah.
So
highly
like the book though. Sex off the charts. The banter off the charts. Comedy
Yeah, I will say I knew that he was going to be okay. So this goes to the poker scene when he's like saying things about himself or whatever, and then he announces that he's a Gilmore Girls fan. I knew starting the book that he was a Gilmore Girls fan because he called her Ace, and that's what Logan calls Rory is Ace. And I was like, I've read this book before.
I think I've seen this film before.
Mhm.
Not a Logan girl, Jess girl. So, yeah. Yeah, at the end when they do the poker and he keeps losing, so he has to tell her facts, and that's how he wins her over, I guess.
Yeah. So both books, super good. The second one was much better.
I agree. Just because I really like Calder and I don't like a pregnancy.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to read Luke's book. We get a little intro into Luke's book in this one.
It's called Honeymoon Phase.
I believe it's called the Honeymoon Phase. It's about him and his friend that we keep hearing about throughout the other two books, who may not really be his friend, and he's going to save her. I believe it's a marriage of convenience story, which I love. Fake dating, marriage of convenience.
Oh, it's actually not out yet. It comes out November 18th.
There you go.
Yep.
I got it confused with two other books that just came out. I'm so sorry, Amy Daws. So sorry. Also, release when Tessa Bailey and Elsie Silver do. Okay.
Yeah. And then if you... And then for those of you who are curious about Max's book, it's from the Wait With Me series, and it is called Last on the List.
Yes. And the fourth in the series is going to be Everly's, which I'm super excited about. Again, we'll continue and finish the series, and also have already started reading other books from Amy Daws because these were my first two. So, yeah. I highly recommend, especially if you are a fan of easy. I think these were like 350 pages each. Lighthearted, lovable, easily relatable to characters. Yeah, and I would give it 3.5, 4 chilies on my spice scale. For fluff, especially.
For fluff, yeah, especially for fluff. Mm-hmm. And especially because they were so small. It's not like we're 700 pages, you know?
No, I need more than one. I need more than 2. 3 is what we usually get with a little bit of sauce. 4 plus in a 300-page book, hats off to you. And we say fluff with love, by the way. We love fluff. We do. That's what we're here for. We're here to escape everything. And fluff is right where I want to be, on a cloud of just some sweat. A little vibe in the bed, okay? So.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's all for this week.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
Next time we're going to talk about. I just blanked.
Lights Out.
Lights Out. Yes. Yep. Really excited about this one. This one was my pick, your pick. I think you.
I think it was just a mutual pick. Yeah.
This was your pick, yeah, because I picked the Mountain Man Matchmaker series. So, yeah, this is the one I've seen all over the things and the masks, and yeah. All right, let's get knifey.
Let's get knifey.
That was really bad. Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye, y'all.